So the angle that we started with is angle VUT, or it can also be called TUV. The second angle is angle ABC, or we can call it angle CBA. The third is angle CBD, or we can call it angle DBC. And if you look very carefully at the right angle, A is on one side, B is in the center, and D is on the other side. So we call the right angle ABD or DBA. So a quick language tip, while both are correct ways to call angles, we usually see that we prefer alphabetical order. So for the first set, we would choose TUV over VUT, but technically both are correct. And here's another special pair. We have the situation where two lines cross and they form four angles naturally. Two of them are the same measure. Looking at the picture, take a guess. Guess which pairs are congruent? And congruent means same measure. So which two angles have the same measure in the diagram? Go ahead and pause. So we see that AEC and DEB are congruent. They're the same exact size. And we have AED and CEB also congruent. These guys are called vertical angles. Each pair are vertical angles. Vertical angles you can think of are opposite of each other when we have two lines crossing. But we have to be careful about vertical angles. In order to make vertical angles, lines that cross need to be perfectly straight. So here's a picture of vertical angles and not vertical angles. Notice that on the vertical angle side, those lines that cross are perfectly straight. I call it perfect crisscross. On the other side, where we have not vertical angles, notice that the sides are crooked. We don't have straight lines crossing, and so we don't have vertical angles. Let's practice a little bit. Can you explain what special relationships the angles have? Let's use our sentence frames we have from our language objectives. Notice that instead of the word angle, I put in the symbol now that we know it. Let's use one for each. You can choose which one to use for which one. And you can also use words from our word bank. Go ahead and pause. So one way you can explain the first pair is angle ABC and angle CBD are complementary because they add up to 90 degrees. You can also say because they make a right angle. And looking at our second pair, since angle JKH and angle JHI make 180 degrees, they are supplementary. Again, you can also say they make a straight angle. Let's take a look at our second pair. Let's explain what is going on here. Again, use our sentence frames for each one. And here's our word bank. Go ahead and pause the video. So one way you can explain the first pair is angle ABC and angle XYZ are supplementary because they make a straight angle. Again, you can say that it's because they add up to 180 degrees. For B, we can say since angle MNP and angle EFG add to 90 degrees, they are complementary. Again, we can also say they make a right angle. Finally, our last practice here, pick two of the pairs of angles you see here. Notice you have four pairs altogether. Explain what special relationship they have here. Here's our sentence frame. And our word bank here is a little bit different, so recall back to how we would describe these angles.